Vizzuti. I'm the MTHS Music Booster President this year. And I want to thank you all for being here to show support of the music program and mostly Darren Fall. It just means a lot to us. I wanted to speak on my behalf, on my heart, on why this is important to me. I spent all day trying to figure out what I'm going to say, and to be honest, I had so many things I wanted to say that I had to stop doing that. So I'm just going to speak a little bit on my own experience, and then we'll get things started, if that's okay. Move this away a little bit, it's really loud. So my son is a senior. He's with the jazz band, he's a jazz drummer. And in 2018 was when kind of our whole venture here started in the summer. We had the jazz camp that was going on every week, and he was really excited to get going in this program because Darren had such a great reputation for what he did for the music and the musicians that came here. So he was really dedicated to be here every week and wanted to be here so bad. Then he was invited to go out and join in with the combos, and he would come up, he was really nervous, and the Jazz 1 kids were amazing. They were like, oh, come on up, you can play next, and they invited him to play, even though he was this little freshman that nobody knew, and he learned a lot just from that. So the beginning of the school year, he already felt welcome, and that happened because of Darren's program and the students that are through that program. So COVID came along, and that was rough on everybody. You felt isolated, you felt like you didn't want to be around, you just, unmotivated, and it wasn't fun for the kids to be online trying to talk to people they didn't know and all that. But believe me, the band classes every day was the highlight for my son. He had his video on, he was ready to talk to everybody, he was excited. That's because they had their community. And this was way back starting in elementary school. He's got friends all the way through from that. So going forward, we were able to go and start building our program again last year. We were selected to play at Hot Java Cool Jazz at the Paramount. And at the culmination of our performance, we got a standing ovation. Talk about performance of your life, right? So that was a really cool experience, and that again came because of all the dedication and time that Darren put in. Back then, you had to audition to get your position, and we were selected most of the time. This year came with a few more disappointments. We didn't make it to Hot Java Cool Jazz. We didn't make it to Essentially Ellington. But what we did do is we recuperated very quickly because Darren spent day after day in the classroom talking heart to heart with the kids, giving them as much grace and heart that he could. And they came back, and recently in March, they almost did a sweep of the Newport Jazz Festival. So, yeah. And they're going to do it again. We're going to Lionel Hampton this weekend. So that's just one aspect of it. That's the wins. That's the things. That's the skill that Darren teaches these kids. He builds them into these amazing musicians. Some of our kids that play in their combos and go out and do different things, they're better than some of the professionals I've heard. So it's amazing what he can create. And I don't know what magic it is, but it happens. He puts everything he has into this program. He's always here after school. He's putting in extra hours for special events. I'm going to switch hats a little bit and work into why I became Music Booster President, was because of all the things that Darren did for my son, I wanted to give back to this program. But even more so, all the kids that are in it. We started with a fall retreat, and I thought, well, it'll be fun, you know, we're gonna have this, you know, group, we're gonna go, but Darren repeatedly said, what are we gonna do to make sure these kids are included? What kind of activities can we do so some of those kids that are a little more shy might be willing to step in and do this? He was constantly looking out for everybody. And we went, he spent hours up until nighttime with these kids, developing them in performance, practicing, playing games to bring everybody in. The final night, we did a skit night. And after the skits, one of the kids raised their hand. They said, I hope you don't mind. I want to stand up and say something. And we're like, okay. And he started in and was like, you know, this band program really saved me. It's done so much for me. And he talked about his point of view. Then pretty soon another child rose, their hand went up. And they wanted to talk about how they were in a really deep place, really, really, really dark place. And if it hadn't been for music, they wouldn't be here today. Other kids, I was suicidal, I didn't have anywhere to go, but I had friends here that cared about me and reached out to me. Another person, I didn't have any friends at all, and when I came into the music program, I had friends instantly. So this is the kind of community that grows here within the musician community. We care about each other. We spend a lot of time emotionally and just putting our heart and soul into everything we do. So we've done a lot. Darren wanted to make sure we are inclusive of all groups, not just jazz, all groups. So we've had band festivals. We went to 3 band festivals this year. We did the Santa Breakfast, we've done swing dance, we've done, the biggest trip of all was 71 kids went to Disneyland. So they had the time of their lives. Got to perform on stage, got to do a workshop where they recorded soundtracks from a Disney movie. It was great. And they were on such a high. And unfortunately, that came to a halt when we got the news that there was going to be some potential cuts to our band program and the music program as a whole. So I guess in finishing this, I didn't know Darren very well at the beginning, and I'm so blessed to be able to have gotten to know him throughout the course of this year. He's an amazing person with so much heart. He's funny, witty, and he loves these kids. He would do anything for these kids. So I think that's why this hurts him so much, is because he put so much heart and soul into this. And by the way, my son's going to continue in the music program. He's going to continue studying music going forward because of Darren. So I want to thank him for that. And I hope that tonight we can just get some enlightenment. What our plan is here is we're going to watch a couple videos, and those folks that are on the Zoom, Google Meet right now, if you don't want to have your faces shown on the screen, you might want to black yourself out. Otherwise, you're going to be up here and everybody's going to see you. And later, we're going to have Greg stand up. But first, we're going to have the opportunity for those of you who wanted to speak tonight to get up and talk. So anyhow, thank you for being here. We're going to go ahead and start with some of the folks that wanted to send in videos of support.
Art and Performing Arts, and Dean Emeritus of the Manhattan School of Music. This is my concerned justification for teaching music and arts education program. Hello, Justin DiCioccio here, music artist, founder, and former head of New York's Jazz and Contemporary Media program at LaGuardia High School of Music, Art, and Performing Arts, and Dean Emeritus of the Manhattan School of Music. This is my concerned justification for teaching music and arts education programs at Mount Lake Terrace High School, one of the most successful and innovative music and arts education programs in the nation that for years, under the baton of Darren Fall, has enriched the direction of hundreds of students in creating successful careers and meaningful lives. Music and arts programs simply change lives. They teach students to be collaborative, goal-driven, and have a successful career and life. Music and arts education teaches a lifelong habit of curiosity. It provides students with a deep enrichment of all aspects and enjoyment of human expression that are not commercial, blockbuster, or money-making, and how to develop a sense of value that is beyond material gain, beyond wealth, fame, and power. Music and arts education teaches students how to emerge with a capacity to think and express themselves with clarity. Music and arts education teaches how to be successful in this complex world and the need to work with a diverse group of people and handle all challenges. How to move intellectually within an array of views. It teaches skills of interpretation and inquiry. And how to distinguish truth from fiction with the ability to understand the other side even when you may not share it. Music and art teaches students to have an independent capacity to ask questions and evaluate answers. In the end, music and arts programs are about the way one connects their lives, both as private individuals and as citizens. Thank you.
Cristian Roldan, professional soccer player for the U.S. men's national team and Central. My name is Cristian Roldan, professional soccer player for the U.S. men's national team and Seattle Sounders. I'm obviously in love with the sport of soccer. It's my outlet, but some kids don't like sports, and some kids have different outlets. And performing arts and music is a very specific outlet that many kids enjoy for their mental and social well-being. And to get these programs threatened or potentially cut due to lack of funding is very sad to hear, seriously, because these kids rely so much, just like I did in sports, to feel like they belong. And so I'm reaching out to each and every one of you guys to support this cause, because I do believe that the district can be able to cut in different areas that don't directly impact students.
Hello, my name is Vizzuti. I'm an international trumpet soloist, composer, and music educator, and have been for the last 50 years. I'm very familiar with the Mount Lake Terrace music and band program, and I've worked with Darren Fall over the course of more than 20 years, actually, off and on, as a guest artist and clinician and friend. And I want to emphasize a couple of things on his behalf and on the behalf of the wonderful music program at Mount Lake Terrace. The Mount Lake Terrace program is one of the finest in the region, for sure, and beyond. I have visited thousands of schools in my global career of music education, and it is a wonderful program. But even more importantly, Darren Fall is a Piper, bringing in students to a situation that is completely healthy in terms of development, communication, learning, societal interaction, creative thinking, all of those things that make music incredibly important. And to cut a program like that is to disenfranchise hundreds of students now and in the future. We should actually be making the music programs larger and larger. We need more artists, we need more interaction and action and development. The arts are positive, totally positive. The arts and a program like Darren Falls sends the students into the world with a positive attitude about interacting with others, and we need that more than anything. The nuts and bolts of playing music are physically and mentally completely some of the best therapies and healthy actions in the world. And the notion to cut that department is shameful. It is despicable, actually. So I almost beg you to reconsider cutting any programs like that, especially ones that have been nurtured and grown by someone like Darren Fall, who is really a fantastic educator, whose students love him. If you talk to any band parent, they will agree with me. If you talk to any band teacher in the area, they will agree with me. Well, it's not self-serving. It's proven science that what Darren Fall does on a daily basis, and it can be a grind, extra hours, sports bands, lots of extra time compared to other teacher schedules. Music should be part of STEM, and it should be called arts, and that word should be STEAM. So I implore you, reconsider putting any arts program, band program, or music program. I would happily come and play for free. In fact, it's a great joy to join the students and play music for you and let you feel the love and the warmth that comes from a program like Darren Falls. Thank you for listening.